Hi and welcome to our tutorial for making macrame earrings. These earrings are super easy to make and they can just add a touch of uniqueness to your style, or you can make them for gifts for friends, but they are super easy and they just look fabulous. So the things you will need for this project is some macrame cord. Now, the ones that I have done as the example, I used the Laurel Bobiny in the 1.5mm, but today I'm going to use the Golden Natural. So it's still in the 1.5mm. It does work better with the narrower cord, but this one, it's natural, but if you can see, it's just got some flecks of golden and like strands running through it. So that's the one I'm going to use today. You will also need some earring blanks. Okay, now these I got from Amazon, and I just put in earring blanks for jewellery making, or you can search on eBay or Etsy or jewellery making supplies. So I've just got some simple hoop ones here. Okay, so they came in a packet of 100, so you could make 50 pairs out of that. So you'll need 2 of those. You will also need a pair of decent sharp scissors so you can cut at the end, and you'll also need a comb or a pet brush for fringing out at the bottom. Okay, so once you have got everything ready, we'll make a start. Okay, so I have got my cork surface again, which I like working with because I can just pin these into place when I'm working so that my work's not all moving everywhere. And I have cut myself 4 lengths of the 1.5mm cord, and they are 75 centimetres in length. Okay, now you might find that they're a bit too long, but it just gives you the choice then when you're doing the fringe how long you would like it to be. Okay, so once you've had a go at making one pair, if you decide, well, okay, they're going to be shorter and you don't want to waste your cord, then you could try doing your cords at 65 centimetres. Okay, so for now I've got 4 lots of 75 centimetres, and I'm going to attach them with the lark's head knot onto my earring blank. Okay, so if I go over that again, so fold your cord so that the ends meet, and then the other end you'll have a loop. Okay, put your loop through your earring hoop and then take those cords through and just pull it so it snugly fits on your wire of your hoop. Okay, so I've done 2. I'm going to do the other 2. Okay, we make sure the ends meet just so that we're working with an even length. We'd hate one side to be shorter and run out before the other side. Okay, I'm just going to move that out of the way. And my 4th cord. And there we go. Okay, make sure that those are all nice and neat on there. Okay, if you can see, I've got the cord showing at the front with the lark's head knot. If you do prefer the reverse, then you can always go with that side. It's entirely your choice, but I'm going to go with the regular lark's head. So I'm going to lie my project down on my cork board. I'm going to put one pin that side, and I'm going to put another pin that side, just to keep it in place whilst we're working. And as always, we want to make sure that our cords are nice and flat and not overlapping, because that's where you can get in a bit of a mess. Now what I'm going to do is I'll go through how I did this design, okay? But once you've done this design, you know, the possibilities are endless. I could add different designs, or you can have a go and make up your own, but I'm going to show you how I did this one. Okay, so for the first part, I'm going to use the 2 middle lark's head knots. So I've got the 4 cords, and I'm just going to make a regular square knot. Okay, so I'm sure if you've been doing macrame, you're familiar with this, but if you're not, make the left hand cord make an L loop that's going over the 2 central cords, and then the right hand cord is going to go over the L, but then you're going to lift up these central holding cords, put the cord through the L loop, okay, and then just pull them so that they are, there you go, snug against your lark's head knots. Okay, so that's half of the square knot. Now I'm going to do the second half. So this time I'm going to make the P loop that goes over the 2 holding cords, and then the left cord is going to go over the P loop, but then I'm going to lift these holding cords up, and it's going to go through that P loop, and then pull that, so we've got a complete square knot. Okay, so there we go, that's our first knot complete. So now I'm going to show you how we do the V's, and it's just by using the double hitch knot. Okay, so if I show you again, okay, I'm going to split these in half to begin with. Okay, I'm going to work the left hand side first. So my far left cord is going to be my filler cord, okay, and then these cords are going to be making the double hitch knot, okay, or the double clove hitch, you might have heard it called various things. So I always hold my filler cord nice and tight, okay, to where I want it to go. If we leave it down here, it's going to be too loose, so I want to make sure it's nice and tight against the edge. Then my working cord, I'm going to go over the filler cord, through that loop, pull it through, and then I'm just going to pull it so it fits nice and snug on the filler cord, okay, and it's against the first lark's head knot. Okay, and I'm going to repeat that because we're doing a double. So over the filler cord, through the loop, and then pull it so it's nice and snug. Okay, and then we're just going to leave that to the side. I'm going to repeat that with my second working cord. Okay, and because we've got that first square knot there, it automatically gives us kind of like a diagonal that we're working to. Okay, and then I'm going to repeat it with the third cord. Okay, there we go. Right, so I'm going to leave that there now. So I've got the 3 cords that I used over to the left now. Now I'm going to leave this one in place over here, and I'll show you why, because it's going to help make our V. Make sure our cords are nice and flat so that we don't get tangled. And now my far right cord is going to be the filler cord for the right hand side. Okay, so over, through the loop, pull it so it's nice and snug against there again. You might need to use your fingernails to wiggle it into place. Notice I've got my filler cord over the edge where I want it to go, so that I know it's going to be nice, a nice edging. It's not going to be too loose. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to repeat that with the second working cord. Okay, tuck that right in. And then I'm going to repeat it again. Okay, now my 4th cord is my filler cord from the left hand side, and I'm going to use that to make another double hitch knot to join these 2 together. Okay, now this is how I do it. You might watch other videos or see other tutorials that show you different. I'm not saying that they're wrong and I'm right. This is the way that I have decided works best for me. Okay, so I'm going to make another double hitch knot with that, and I just find that that joins the V. Okay, so now that filler cord has gone over to the left hand side. All right, so now if I lift this up to show you, okay, so you've got your, where are we? There we go. You've got your square knot in the centre there, and then we've got the first row of double hitch knots to make the first V. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the second row. So if I put that back there to secure my work in place. Okay, so my work's secure, and we're now going to make the second V. This time I'm going to work from right to left. So my far right cord is going to be my filler cord, and then these 3 cords here are going to be my working cords to make the double hitch. So same, go over, through the loop, make sure you make it nice and snug. Okay. Notice I'm keeping my filler cord exactly where I want it to go. I'm not moving it anywhere else. If I move it down, it will end up being a bit too baggy and too loose, rather than a nice tight row of double hitch knots. Okay, So there's the right hand side done. There we are. Now this filler cord is going to go over to this side this time. My far left cord is now going to become my filler cord for this row. And I'm going to repeat. There we go. That's that one. Two. Three. Okay. Now this time the left hand side will have the 4th double hitch knot, because this was my filler cord from the right hand side, and again just gives that nice V finish to this row. Okay, now again you can wiggle these so you haven't got any gaps. Now that cord is going to go over to the right hand side, and again I've got a little gap there, but I can push these up. There we go, to neaten it out. And then, I mean, I'm going to do a 3rd V to show you how I did this design. You could stop there or you could carry on. Depends how long you want the earrings to be, really. So this time I'm going to work from left to right. So I'm going to start off. Here we go. I'm sure you've got the idea now. There we go, that's that one done. Now that side goes over to the right, and I'm going to do my 4th layer. It does get a bit wiggly actually. If you want to stop it wiggling, you can always just pin one of those cords so it stays steady. So far right cord is now my filler, and I'm going to work my way down to the point of the V. That's that one. Very relaxing, very mindful when you get into this. Okay, and this is where the 4th cord is going to make the point of the V. Okay, and there we go. So now I could just wiggle these. Just wiggle these to make sure that they're all close together. And there we go. Okay, so that is the main part of the design complete. Again, I could pull that just a bit tighter there to make it closer together. And now this is where you need to decide how long you want the earring to be. As I said at the beginning, we've got plenty of cord here with the 75cm cords. if you want to stop there, as I said, next time you make one, you could make it 65 centimetres, so you don't have that spare. But what I will do is I'll show you how to trim it and fringe it. And then these spare bits, they don't necessarily have to go to waste, because we could make a feather earring, which would be quite nice. So I'm just going to, I'm not going to comb it out properly yet. I just want to make sure, there we go, they're all straight. And I'm going to decide how long to do my fringe. Okay, and I'm just going to, this is where sharp scissors come in handy. So do it there. Get rid of the excess, but keep it. Okay, we don't ever waste anything. We want to keep all our bits. And then we just start combing out our fringe. Now this can take a little while, because what you'll find is that it begins to twist and curl back on itself, but I do promise you, if you keep combing it, see how it's twisting? If you keep combing it, it will flatten out. Okay, what I'm going to do now is turn it over. Again, keep flattening it out. And I'm going to make sure that I get into all of these strands here to untwist them, and that will help it. So I'm holding the knots though, so I don't pull the knots. Okay, again, you could use your pet brush, but for little projects I just tend to stick with the comb and just go over it a bit more. There we go, you can see it's beginning to lie out nice and flat now. Again, I'm just going to go through the top, because if you can flatten these bits out, it'll help it stay flat all the way down. There we go. Okay, so there we go. So now I've got a nice full fringe. Now I could leave it like that if I wanted it just uneven, or I could, like here, what I did for this one is I just did a blunt cut. Okay, plain hairdresser here with the macrame. I just did a blunt cut where I lifted it up and just did it all the same length. Okay, and you can have great fun with this, cutting it and trimming it and cutting it and trimming it. See there, it's just a bit uneven. If you really do struggle to get an even, straight bottom of your fringe, what you can do is you can just put a bit of masking tape where you want to cut it, cut along the masking tape so you know it's going to be nice and flat, nice and straight, and then take your masking tape off. Okay, and there is one of the earrings complete. Okay, so we've got our nice little pattern, we've got our nice fringe. I love this one with the golden strands running through it. And then all you need to do is repeat that for your second earring, and you'll have a lovely piece of handmade macrame jewellery. Okay, now that's a complete beginner's one. If you want to have a go at some more adventurous ones, like with the feather earring that I just talked about, make sure you click on subscribe, use our tutorials to help you improve your macrame skills, and I'll see you soon. Bye.